Good morning, family. Welcome to today's Lessons for Life. Today is Wednesday, August 26, 2009, and today we're reading in 2 Kings chapter 18, and it's a pretty interesting story that is developing this chapter, so I really encourage you to read it for yourself, see what you get from the chapter, and email us and we'll put it on the blog. But what I want to bring up actually for Lessons for Life is from the beginning portion of this chapter. One of the first things I saw, or that stood out to me as I was reading, since we've been reading these books of Kings, we've been reading through so many different kings, from the kings of Israel to the kings of Judah, and some were good, some were bad, some were terrible, some were worse than terrible. But it mentions here a king by the name of Hezekiah, king of Judah, and it says that because he followed the commandments of the Lord, even the commandments that Moses had given, then he really had a lot of favor, and the Lord made him really successful in different things that he wanted to do. So what stood out to me was, like I said, we've been reading all these kings that came before him, and what stood out to me really was that in spite of all those who were before him and whether they were doing the right thing or not, he still was able to come along and be a great king and stand out. And this chapter says that he was there was none like him before or after him, and how he kept the commandments of the Lord and followed the Lord, was obedient to what the Lord wanted to have done. So regardless, the lesson, like I said, we can get from this is, regardless of those who come before you, you still have the decision for yourself what you're going to do, and you can still be great, you can still do great things, irregardless of what others have done. And now we've spoken before about different trends along family lines, and different things that you might have to break, patterns you might have to break for yourself individually. But in spite of that, you can still be great, and you can still stand out, and there can still be greatness coming from you, regardless of what people have done before, your parents, your grandparents, great-grandparents, whatever. You can still be great. You just might have to work a little harder to break some trends, but it's still in you, just like Hezekiah, to stand out amongst all the kings of Judah and really have that relationship with the Lord and connection, and be successful at the different things that he did. You can be successful at different things that you do, regardless of circumstances. That's a good way to put it. Regardless of previous circumstances. So that's what I got. Like I said, though, there's an interesting story that's developing in this chapter, so you should really read the entire chapter through for yourself. With that, create yourself a wonderfully blessed day today, and we'll talk again tomorrow.